Hello. So I wanted to briefly talk about my overall thoughts of the DCEU. And it seems like I think it's come to an end at this point. I believe Aquaman 2 is the last of the DCEU. And so, my thoughts in the last few years. So Zack Snyder created Batman versus Superman and the Justice League movie. Snyder Cut is the one I wanted to mention. So overall, I thought both of those movies were good. Wonder Woman, the first movie, I thought was pretty good. I enjoyed it when it first came out. And the second Wonder Woman 1984, I saw it a couple times when it first came out, and overall I thought it was fine. I would have to say I probably liked the first one better, but I don't think the second one was necessarily bad. But anyways, Aquaman, the first movie, well, the second one hasn't come out yet. I really like Aquaman, and big fan of Jason Momoa, the actor in general. I'm also a fan of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think all of the cast were pretty good for the most part, and I'm a little, things that we've heard about Ezra Miller and stuff like that. I just kind of choose to ignore it because I like The Flash a lot, and I went ahead and saw the Flash movie and the one with Michael Keaton, and I liked it. Overall, I liked it. Despite the things about Ezra Miller, I did enjoy the movie, and I have seen the first Batman movie from like the late 80s, and yeah, so it was cool to see Michael Keaton in the new Flash movie, and yeah, apparently he's really quite an older person. I didn't realize how old he was in the movie. I guess he was like in his early 70s or something, 71 or something like that. I was just like, and he was kind of a good looking man when he was younger in the Batman film, but I was just like, whoa, like he played as Batman like in his 70s, like early 70s. So I was like, dang. There were certain fight scenes from the Flash movie where I'm just like, no, that was not Michael Keaton. I'm sure somebody else was dressed up in the bat suit and did those fight scenes for him, which I really enjoyed, and it's always fun to watch Batman fight. But yeah, what else? Um so yeah, now that the DCEU has come to an end, I would say overall I have enjoyed the DC movies, and there are Marvel fans out there who are on the DC hate train and usually say about pretty much the same things of why they thought it was so bad. And honestly, I don't see the logic or the reason. They come up with weird reasons, but really don't make any sense at all. I just kind of like, I don't know. People just kind of come up with, they don't even like come up with their own ideas. They just kind of like copy paste like what other people say and then say it's bad, but it's like I know what they're talking about, like, and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, I still don't see why the hate. And you know it's, I guess if they're these people who are just straight up Marvel fans and don't really care for DC, specifically like the DCU, then I just have to ignore them because they're Marvel fans, whatever. And over the years, like watching the Marvel movies was all right. You know, I've always been a DC fan and Detective comic book fan, and I've read the comic books since I was in middle school, and I just really enjoy the stories. They're fun to read. I read a lot of the Teen Titans from the early 2000s, whatever. And my overall favorite superhero would have to be Supergirl. And then the male superheroes, I love Batman and I love The Flash, like specifically Wally West Flash. So, yeah, it would be cool to see like a live action version of Wally West instead of Barry Allen, but anyways, but now they're coming up with the DCU, and I believe James Gunn is going to be the one in charge, and honestly, I'm kind of concerned a little bit because he's the one who made, I don't know what Marvel films he made, but I just kind of like afraid he's gonna mess up like the DC movies, and I don't know where it's gonna go. But at this point, I really don't care. You know, I enjoy reading the comic books to this day. I still read DC comic books, and so yeah, but who knows? Maybe James Gunn will actually surprise me and make some really good movies. I would like to see. What would I like to see? Be cool to see the Teen Titans, maybe Supergirl, you know, and there was like a television series of Supergirl and never really watched it. I've always liked the Supergirl from the comic books, specifically from like the early 2000s, and I liked her outfit and stuff, um and the Supergirl from the earliest Flash movie, like she was fine. I think like I was really happy and satisfied with the movie because all three of my favorite superheroes were in one film. But the Supergirl was slightly disappointing because I didn't really care for her look or her aesthetic or her costume, her short black hair. And I'm like, that's not Kara Zor-El. Kara Zor-El has like long blonde hair, and typically she wears like a skirt, and like she's yeah, that's just how I picture Kara Zor-El. I mean, that's how she typically looks. She's a Caucasian girl, and this girl was like, I don't know, she didn't look like the original, and which is, I mean, it's okay for this one particular film. I personally don't care to see her in another movie. I mean, I just like, I guess I'm like a comic book purist. I want the characters to look accurate from the actual comic books. Like even Ezra Miller kind of bothered me because he had like black hair, and like in the comic books, Barry Allen is blonde. He's blonde. So it's like, you know, I want the characters to look accurate, you know, no race swapping, no, you know, just try to really try to make it accurate as possible, you know, because us comic book fans who read the comic books want to enjoy the films, and I care about the accuracy, you know, but anyways, just wanted to share my thoughts with that, and anyways, I enjoyed the movies so far. I mean, not every single DC movie is like my favorite movie out there. But overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. And I can't recall that there was really a movie that I didn't like. Oh, and the Shazam movies. I liked the first one. The first one was pretty funny. The second one, I did like it, but not as much as the first one. Black Adam, I only saw it like one time. You know, I'm not like a huge fan of The Rock or anything, so that's probably why I didn't really watch it again, but I'll probably give it a try eventually. But yeah, I was kind of, when I saw the Black Adam movie and I saw the trailers, I was like happy to see that Hawkman and Dr. Fate were in that was in that film, and I was just like, all right, like we don't really get to see any of those characters. We've never seen any of those characters in a live action film, so I was happy about that, satisfied. And then so yeah, it would be interesting to see Hawkman and Dr. Fate again. I mean, the only thing I didn't like about Dr. Fate in the Black Adam movie is like I didn't dislike Dr. Fate, but I didn't like that they killed him off in the movie. I mean, like I think Dr. Fate is way more powerful than this wannabe demon guy, this villain that was like Satan or something, whatever. And I just like, no, Dr. Fate would have, well, even if he did die, like he would come back to life because most superheroes that die usually come back to life. So they should just bring him back. But I don't think Dr. Fate would be killed off that easily. In comic books, he wouldn't. Not by some wannabe demon supervillain. But anyways, those are my thoughts, and we'll see if I make another video about it. Okay, bye.